What's going on, everyone? Welcome again to the Third and 10 podcast, season 3, episode 49. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen, joined always by my guy here, Brian Germanaro. Happy Tuesday to y'all. Hope you guys are doing well. This is so at this time, I'm recording this at 7 in the morning. It's 10 a.m. where Brian's at. I've never recorded a podcast this early. I'm surprised I woke up in time for it, considering I was watching the Dodgers game
I think
for the
I think we're all
entirety.
surprised. We're all up right now after that
Yes.
Dodger game last night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch, though, I tell you. But it's good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I saw a stat that who since Tom Coughlin left, what
Oh,
former Giants coach
not sure
has
if
the
it's
best
me
record
that
against
just
the
cut
Philadelphia
out.
Eagles?
Oh, there we go. No, Brian's back. Perfect.
What?
Was it me? The everything
I,
like legit just cut out. I think it's
okay.
me. Oh, it's probably just me because for some reason my Wi-Fi's giving me issues
Mm,
since last night. So
okay.
um,
Which former Giant coach since Tom Coughlin's got the best record against Philly? Best winning percentage.
you know what's crazy? I
It's
literally saw it all time or recently.
No, since Coughlin left. Since Coughlin left, which head coach has the best winning percentage against Philly?
Ain't it Judge?
It is Joe Judge. And everyone in the comments like, maybe I judge Judge too hardly. I'm like, no. You're accurate in how you judged him. He sucks. He's terrible.
Yeah, because Judge was only here for 2 years. Dable's been here for
Yeah,
four
Judge was
now.
2-2 against Philly. But like we also got to remember he coached the 2020 season when Philly completely fell apart.
Yeah, and during Dable's tenure, he's had to deal with the
Super Bowl champions.
yeah,
Like they've gone to the Super Bowl twice in Dable's tenure. Yeah.
yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
right, yes,
Yeah, because they went. I think his first year they went was his first year.
and then last year they won it, so
Yeah,
a little bit more difficult for the
yeah,
current Giants head
a
coach
little
compared
bit more
to
difficult. He's not beating the 4-12 Eagles led by Carson Wentz
and rookie Jalen Hurts.
and a rookie Jalen
Uh,
Hurts and Boston Scott and Tug Peterson.
yeah, but and speaking of Giants Eagles, we'll be discussing that in just a little bit here. Yeah, another.
Not a loss. What are we surprised? Why are we surprised? Why are we surprised at this point?
I don't
Honestly,
think anyone. I don't think anyone is surprised by the result, especially because
mm-hmm.
no one really expected us to sweep Philly in a season.
No.
There was hope,
There
could have
was hope,
happened.
and there's a lot of things that went against us that we probably should talk about. But even if the refs called the game fairly, we were still losing the game. It's one of
Yeah,
those things.
I think a lot of people will point to the refs and be like, "Oh, it was a one-sided game." But at the end of the day, it's like the
Mm-hmm.
refs aren't gonna, or the missed or the one-sided calls by the refs isn't gonna fix the fact that the Giants um, allowed over 250 plus yards of rushing.
Exactly.
So
Mm-hmm.
you know, if as a fan, I've grown to not be like, oh, it's the refs' fault that we
Yeah.
lost,
I
instead
feel
of
like it's a very little kid thing to do. Like I feel like when
yeah,
you're younger in like middle school and stuff, you blame the refs quickly. But as you get older and like kind of get more of the nuances of games, you're like, wait a minute, the refs sure might have some outcome, but it's not that crazy. I think at least for me, the changing point was that Rams Saints game where everyone blamed the refs. I'm like, do we all just forget that Drew Brees had the ball in overtime and threw an interception? Like we just all kind of casually forget that. The Saints touched the ball again.
exactly. So, well, we might as well get into it now. Might as well just rip the Band-Aid off. I really
Mhm.
don't want to talk about this game because I was just so frustrated. But Eagles 38, Giants 20. It's pretty much a reversal of what happened in
Pretty
Thursday's
much, yeah.
game, because the Giants also put up 30 plus points and only limited the Eagles to about 17 or to 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in this one, just that the Giants scored 3 more points than what Philly did in the first matchup, and the Eagles put up 38 instead of
Yep.
30 like the Giants did. But it was very clear that the Giants did not look the same.
Opening drive, you knew this was a different game.
Yeah, second play from scrimmage, when Saquon scored, I was like, "Oh, this is," because I was watching the game with my best friend Josh, And yeah, that Saquon Barkley touchdown run, I was like, "Yep, it's gonna be a long day."
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
is.
because like even like you could point out like oh like Saquon Barkley had a big first drive against the Giants in the first game. Like yeah, but the Giants there was also only two big runs in that play, and then the Giants defense stepped up. The Giants
Mhm.
defense didn't step up on that play and just allowed them to walk into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah.
We're 5 minutes into the game, we're already losing 7-0. Like it was that moment like this is gonna be different.
See, I knew it was gonna be a long day, but I just didn't know that it was gonna get worse from there, for
Yeah.
us. That the
Mm-hmm.
football gods had, worse plans for us. But hey, let's get to a couple positive stats before we get to
Can you
the
find any?
negatives, right? I actually did. I somewhat, me. I always find a way to be positive, man. That's how we got to be in life.
Mm-hmm.
But Jackson Dart officially is now the only quarterback in the Super Bowl era with 8+ passing touchdowns, 4+ rushing touchdowns, and fewer than 5 giveaways in his first 5 career starts. Abdul Carter led the Giants with 5 pressures against the Eagles. So hey,
He's
we get
right there. He
he's
just
right
can't
there,
get the
man.
sack is the
It's
problem.
crazy. I think so. I think this season he is now at 33 pressures, which is eighth most in the NFL.
That's
Um,
insane.
I know he's
I wish
playing
there was a
really good,
way like
man.
you could do like like how in like baseball there's like expected numbers like based on the way like the ball sit and stuff like this is a hit in like X amount of situations. I wish
Mhm.
there's a way in football we could be like expected sacks based on how many pressures you have.
Because that would look really good as
Because that would look
Carter
great for
for
Abdul
sure.
Carter right now.
Well, he was close to having a few sacks on Sunday, but of course,
And he's
going with
had sacks. They've just all been taken away by penalties.
either
All
by
of them.
penalty,
I can
either
think
by
of three off the
penalty,
top of my head right now.
or he's being held and it's not being called. But like I said, I digress.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants also led the Eagles in passing yards, 178 to 151, after the sacks are considered in there. But unfortunately, the Giants have tied the franchise record with 10 consecutive road losses. And the bad luck just continues when the Giants play away from East Rutherford. But let's just break it all down. Start with the offense first, my friend. Um, we talked about this on multiple occasions, right? But the development of Jackson Dart continues to be slowly hindered with every week the Giants refusing to make a move at wide receiver. Look, when in Dart's first career start against the Chargers, as we all know, he lost Malik Neighbors in that first half. But the Giants still won that game. Sure, they lost to New Orleans the next week. But then we saw what they did against Philly the first time with Lil Jordan Humphrey, and then with Wandale Robinson stepping up and whatnot. Things seem like they were going to be okay. But these past couple weeks have shown up, all Giants fans that hey, we need to get this guy help because he can't rely on Wandale Robinson to produce. He can't rely on
Mm-hmm.
um,
You can
Darius
rely on
Slayton.
Wandale, just not as a wide receiver one.
No, you cannot do it's. You're doing a disservice to your
Yes.
rookie quarterback if you're relying on him, on just him,
Mm-hmm.
um, because Darius Slayton isn't. He's not good.
No.
Um, Jalen Hyatt was marked as
He was
inactive,
inactive. He wasn't
actually.
even in the game. Wasn't dressed. What
Yeah,
are we doing?
I was
He's
actually
got to be. He's got
surprised.
to go. He's got to go.
I was actually surprised. I think, according to reports, he was talking with Shane before the game, and then he was ruled inactive, and I was a little shocked. I was like, okay, then I guess don't know why, um, but sure.
If he talked to Shane
Um,
before the game and then the inactive, maybe he demanded a trade.
yeah, maybe. But Bo Collins had like one catch for 18. Humphrey was elevated. No catches, no targets.
Nope.
These guys aren't showing up, but what's new, right? And
Yeah.
Wandale only had 3 catches for like what 48 yards. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I just he look, the fact that Dart's still producing in some way, shape, or form with what he has around him is actually insane. Um,
It just shows he's a franchise quarterback and like he doesn't need like special coaching. He's just good. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, he needs someone, man. And
No,
like
he needs somebody, and the Giants would be so stupid to go through this deadline and not bring in somebody to give him, especially now that Skattebo's out for the year and like
Yes,
he was
good
kind
point.
of like the main piece, which I think was just tragic on all of our. I think I don't think Giants fans cared about the score anymore. It was just like, oh my god, we can't have anything good anymore because we lost neighbors for the year. Now losing Skattebo, like somebody get Jackson Dart and wrap him up as much bubble wrap as possible because he's next. But it'd be such a disservice to your young quarterback that's showing so many flashes of greatness to make him go through these next, well, we're in like week 8 right now.
Hmm.
So these next 9 games with, little Jordan Humphrey and Wandale Robinson as his prime targets with Tyron Tracy. That's such a disservice to a young quarterback. And that's stuff that stunts development. So they got to
Exactly.
go get somebody, even if it's just like a Juju Smith Schuster or like a veteran. That you got to go get somebody for him.
You gotta just get some man some help, man. And you made a good point about now that with Scatterwood being out, there's really that's just one another big loss in the offensive department because it's like you know
Mm-hmm.
neighbors and Scatterwood, they were the key guys
Yeah.
that helped that offense stay afloat with Jackson Dart. So
Even Skattebo, it was mostly just Skattebo because Neighbors was hurt in his first game.
yeah, and even to start the year, Neighbors was low key on a tear,
Mm-hmm.
low key. Especially that Dallas game where he was just absolutely phenomenal. Um, but yeah, it's with the guys he has around him. I'm happy that Dart's producing and showing that he can work with no matter he can work with whatever's around him. But the Giants want to succeed and win games. They need to get this man some help.
Yeah,
And
desperately.
yeah. And speaking of Scatterbo, as we all know, he is out for the season after that horrific foot injury that he suffered.
An
That
illegal
can't.
tackle. Just saying.
Well, apparently it's controversial.
Still.
I've seen a few angles of it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's controversial, to say the least. I don't think I know a lot of people are saying it's a hip drop, and I personally, I when I saw it too, that was my first initial reaction, like, oh my god, that's a hip drop. Like, fine him, whatever the case may be. And if he does get fined by the NFL, cool. But I'm looking at it, I'm just like, yeah, I think it's one of those just in the moment plays or those unfortunate things that happened uh, unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no ill will to Zach Bond or anything like that, but just sucks. And
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was our
I
RB
think it
one.
was a hit drop. I don't think he did it intentionally. Like, there's some Giants fans like he was embarrassed. He embarrassed Skattebo, so he went for the legs. Like, I don't think that's the case. I just think he tried tackling him and just happened to become a hit drop tackle.
Hmm. Yeah, it was bad, man. What I think when he was on the ground, I was like, okay. Then
Oh,
I
you do
looked away for
instantly.
yeah. Well,
The way his foot went out, you're like, oh god.
yeah, when he was tackled, I looked away for a second because but I didn't know what happened. Then I looked back at my screen, and then the camera literally panned to I think it was John Michael Schmitz, and then Jackson Dart,
Yeah,
and then it panned back to Scatterbo, who was trying to get up, and then he just rocked back down. I was like,
which is the most
what
Skattebo thing of
exactly
all time. The
happened?
fact
Yeah,
his
like
foot's on, his foot is sideways. He's trying to get up.
trying to get up, yeah, and like try to just play on it. And then when they went to commercial, and then they came back with the car, I was like, oh, you gotta be fudging kidding me.
Yeah, the car in
Uh,
the air cast immediately. It's like, yep, done.
like this, yeah, this day was gonna get worse and worse. But yeah, emergency surgery was required.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know it's bad, but it was completed and a success, and he has been discharged from the hospital at this time. Dr. Gonzalez Lomas, who did not operate or examine Scatterbo, but is an expert in regard to this stuff, says the next 2 weeks will require rest, elevation, and cryotherapy to bring down inflammation. If all goes well, recovery will progress to non-weight bearing range of motion exercises, and in about 4 to 6 weeks to protective weight bearing exercises. In several months, after stiffness has decreased and strength is improved, he can progress to sport specific activities.
So,
So in
Scotty,
short,
find some movies, sit
yes,
back on your couch, put your foot up, and just watch. I don't want you
yes.
moving. And I know that's hard for you. Don't move.
It will be a long process for him, but if anyone's going to be able to bounce back by week one and be ready for next season, it
Oh
will be
yeah,
him.
it's like even if Skattebo has some pain, if it's manageable, he's playing through it.
Oh yeah, he's playing through
Like
it.
he has that hockey player mentality where it's like I'm playing through anything.
Exactly. Like we just mentioned, the fact that he tried to play even when his foot was a
It's just
complete
a
180.
scratch, dude. Your foot's on sideways.
I love him. All Giants fans love him. Even the Eagles fans were clapping
Yeah,
enough to give him a
I think
standing
everybody
ovation.
loves him because he just has that like personality that you want
Hmm.
your every football player to have. Just that
Yeah.
crazy guy.
Yeah, I mean, those Eagles fans were giving him a standing O when he was being carted off, and that's all power to them. All
Mm-hmm.
shout out to them.
Shout out. Philly's
Try
been
to,
decent. Like Philly gets a bad rap, but when there's a really serious injury like that, Philly normally does good. Like I remember, and
normally.
this is a lot for me. I remember when Victor Cruz went down, they gave him a
Oh,
standing O. They gave him a standing O too.
yeah, that. Oh, I
But
remember that
someone on
play.
Twitter also made a good point where it's like, if we have to point out that you guys are giving an injured player a standing ovation, and that's like something we have to point out that like you didn't boo him, it shows how bad your fan base is.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's also a great point. In fact, we have to
yeah,
draw recognition to clapping, which in every other sporting event from Little League to the professionals is just a given when a player gets hurt, except in Philly where it's like, oh my god, they actually clap for the guy.
and
Like,
then yes,
that's a sign you're who are scumbags.
and then there were some fans as well who were like, "Oh, I guess making fun of Scatterboo and the injury," and of course
Oh yeah,
that's
well
just
there's those. I mean, there's the dumbest Philly fan ever. It was in Jackson Dart's post game interview when he's like, "I'm not used to losing," and he's like, "Why do you mean you're not used to losing? You're on the Giants. You're 2-6," and everyone in the comment is like, "Do you not realize he's a rookie?" He's like, "Yeah, but he's still on a bad team." It's like, okay, dude, but you're not answering your original question. We're pointing out to you he's not used to losing because he hasn't been on the Giants at Ole Miss for years, winning 10 games a year. Now he comes to the Giants who are 2-6 his rookie season. Yeah, of course he's not used to losing. It takes more than 5 brain cells, which I know is hard because Philly's got a 52% illiteracy rate. It takes more than 5 brain cells to put together he's not used to losing because he's a rookie.
if I saw his comment, I would have been like, "So we're gonna forget about Jalen Hurts' rookie season or his first full season as a starter?"
No, he would have just yelled and said something brain dead about the Giants being bad because that's what he did to
Yeah,
everybody.
no, of course he did. Anyways, obviously terrible loss for the Giants offense. Scatterby was the battering ram. The
Mm-hmm.
one half of the true exciting white, to say the least, an energy force for this team that will unfortunately have to resume the season without him. Uh, But hey, the stock for Tyrone Tracy is clearly on the rise now.
Oh yeah,
A lot of people are like, "Oh, pick him up on your waivers in fantasy," or yeah, because he's obviously going to be the RB1. Devin
mm-hmm.
Singletary will be a nice bench piece to have
No,
if
no,
he's
he
out.
won't be. He really
Well,
won't
I mean,
be.
for fantasy,
No,
you
he
never know.
won't be. He
I
won't be a
know.
good bench piece to have in fantasy. It's not gonna
And peop
do anything.
Unless you're, I mean, hey, people are desperate, man.
Unless you're in
Hey,
a 14-man league, Singletary has little to no value right now. Yeah.
But I think the better question to ask here, my friend, is what is your confidence level in Tyrone Tracy? Because he is back to what he was last year when he took over for Singletary, which is the RB1 role.
Um, I'm going like a 7 because I
Okay.
think he can be fine, and I think it's just like Skattebo was such an electric player that you forgot about how good Tyrone Tracy is.
Hmm.
But just like the brief flashes we had so far this year haven't been overly impressive. So I'm like, which running back is he? Is where
Hmm.
I'm at right now.
Like pretty much. Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. I'm just concerned that this sophomore slump might affect him a little harder than we're anticipating.
Mhm. I wouldn't really consider him a sophomore slump. I think rather it's just like the expectations that were set on him entering this year
Mm.
was like, okay, he's going to be the RB1. He's going to take over. Scatterbo will be just mainly a goal line back or third and short type of guy. But then, of course, Scatterbo took over as the full time guy because Tracy just couldn't really get anything going
Yeah,
to start the year.
the explosive element wasn't there where Skattebo had it.
Because, we look at last year, right? And it's like, oh, okay, Tracy took over mid-season. If you calculate his stats from over 16 games instead of the amount of games that he did play, he would be at over 1,000 yards, and I think maybe 8 touchdowns was what the number was. I forgot what the exact numbers
Who,
were.
Scatty or Tracy?
Tracy,
Tracy.
what
Okay, I
he
was
was
just saying,
on
like, I
pace
think
for.
Skattebo had 7 touchdowns already.
Yeah, yeah, dude, Skattebo
This
was
is an
yeah, was
insane
legit
stat.
was legit, almost at Tracy's well, he was almost at Tracy's full touchdown number from last year, and Skattebo only
In like
played.
really like 4 games. Like
Yeah.
because he kind of took over in Dallas. Is when he became RB1.
There you go. That's the game. Yeah. Uh, or was it? No, it was Kansas City actually that he
Yeah,
took
yeah.
over.
Dallas, he
Yeah.
was the lead back, and then Kansas City that tried to continued, and then it exploded when Dart showed up.
There you go. Yes, sir. So, but yeah, for me, I believe in Tracy. I mean, I don't really have a choice,
We have no
really.
choice. You have to believe in
Um,
Tracy.
but yeah, I do hope that he, kind of shows what he did, what he did last year, and I'm kind of glad now that we didn't cut Devin Singletary because now there's no, after Tracy, there would have been no like
I mean,
veteran
I would rather watch Turbo
leadership.
Miller out there, but that's just me.
True, and honestly, I do think he will possibly be elevated.
He's
Honestly,
got to be elevated.
it has to be,
Gotta
right?
be.
Yeah. Well, then again, Eric Gray is coming off IR
But they
soon.
still said he's still a few weeks out.
Okay, so they may elevate him eventually, but
Yeah.
if
I
anything,
mean, you have to. You can't not go into this week with 2 running backs. I'm
nope,
sorry. You need a
no
third. You
sir,
need someone else out there.
you cannot. Um, would you consider maybe a free agent addition at the running back position or no? Michael Carter just he
I mean,
got
I
cut
would
yesterday.
consider it. I consider all options because, like we said, Miller is nothing more than a receiving back. So if a guy like Michael Carter is out there and wants to play, yeah, bring him in.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Carter signing either because he had that one good game for Arizona this
He had a
year, and
great game
then
with. He had a great rookie year with the Jets. It was kind of a surprise the Jets went Brees Hall because he looked good.
yeah, well, they made the right move. Brees Hall went
Oh, they
off.
100% did make the right move. I'm just saying, like when you watch it, like wait, Michael Carter can be something.
My
Why
Carter's
they
not that
waste a second
bad.
round pick
Yeah,
on Brees Hall? That just seems like a
yeah,
little bit of a reach.
yeah. Well, so might as well might as well bring Carter in for a workout, see what you got. But
Exactly.
yeah, Arizona did not need him anymore for sure.
We need
Since
him.
they now have Zonovan. Well, he goes by Bam Knight, but I think his true name is Zonovan Knight.
Zonovan Knight. Bam
Yeah,
Knight's
so
way better.
yeah, I know, right? But yeah, he is the RB1
Especially if
over
he's
there
like a
in
power
Arizona.
back, they can be like Bam Bam. Oh, perfect.
Uh, is he? I don't know.
I don't know what kind of back
I
he is. I
think
haven't
he.
watched a
Yeah.
lot of Arizona Cardinals football. I'm sorry.
Nah, no one would, anyways,
I'm
because
sorry, living in Connecticut. I have very little interest in the Arizona Cardinals.
well, something that we should have, interest in is that offensive line for the Giants, who were absolutely torched by Philly.
Yep.
In fact, Jackson Dart was perched on an unacceptable 48.4% of dropbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, on three of Jackson Dart's five sacks that he suffered, he had some responsibility,
Yeah.
whether it's been holding onto the ball for too long or trying to extend plays behind the line of scrimmage. But nonetheless, the offensive
Typical
line
rookie
didn't.
stuff.
Yeah,
It's hero
you got to live with
ball.
it.
It's hero ball is what he's trying to do.
Yeah, you got to live with it. He's going to learn. But the offensive line, it's not like they played terribly, but they did not look good at all. It
No,
was every time
the
or
talent of Philly overwhelmed them. Like
yeah,
this offensive line has played good this year, but I think we all can agree that they're playing above their expectation. And when an actual really good defensive line like Phillies, which had a Jalen Carter and all their other pass rushers, it exposed them.
and it helps when you have Jalen Carter back. So
Yeah,
who didn't play in that first game, and yeah, he O-line will bounce back, no doubt
yeah.
about
I
it.
have no concern about the like. I have concern about the O line, but nothing you can address this season.
They played more than average, like for most of the season so far. No doubt they'll bounce back, and especially this upcoming weekend at San Francisco, whose pass rush is a little less
Yeah.
stronger, I guess you would say, compared to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. And speaking about defense, unless you have anything, do you have anything else on the offensive front, my friend, to discuss?
No, not really. It's really just like the Skattebo injury is brutal. They
Yeah,
got to go out and get some receptive receiver for Dart, just to give him somebody to work with his rookie
yeah,
year.
yeah. Well, defensively for our Giants, think about this, my friend. The Giants have given up 71 points in the last 5 quarters of football.
Yep.
71.
And the fact that Shane Bowen still has a job is disgusting.
Yep. To continue waiting for him to be fired is completely unacceptable.
No, and the worst part is he's not going to be. We're stuck with him all year, and that's
Yeah.
a big knock on Dable.
I just don't know what it's going to take for the Giants to fire him before the season ends. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why he deserves to keep his
Yeah,
job. The players say they believe in the scheme when they just have to say it just
it's all lip
because.
service. All
Yeah,
lip service.
it's
That's just everyone trying to stay face. But we had Dable Young on the sidelines, Brian Burns in the tunnel, which you could say is emotions and all that stuff. But guess what? Even when you're emotional like that, it's rooted in some truth.
I,
That even if they don't hate Shane Bowen, they're frustrated with Shane Bowen.
they really are. It
Yeah,
just
and then there was
sucks.
some another moron on Twitter was like, uh, uh, Abdul Carter will never reach his full potential with Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm like, no, no, he will. He just needs a defensive coordinator that understands how to use him right.
Yes, instead of having him line up in the slot against Devontae Smith like we saw on Sunday
I would
at
have
one
fired him
point.
immediately right then and there. If I
Yeah,
was Sean Mara, I would have drove to Philly and fired him right there. Like, are
usually
you a
Dave
stupid person?
usually Dable's always like on Sundays like, yeah, we'll watch the film. I'm like, did you see that?
Then you're not watching the film clearly.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know, Dable, because if you see that, I'm sure you would have lost your crap.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. But the Giants defense, they did have 4 sacks on the day against Jalen Hurts. Brian Burns continues to shine, getting his 10th sack already through 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's definitely making the Pro Bowl, making the All Pro first team as long as he stays healthy and all those things, man. He is now tied for the league in sacks again, uh, because Miles Garrett decided to go off for 5 sacks on Sunday for no gosh damn reason, and then they still lost over
Mm-hmm.
there in Cleveland. Um, but yeah, he Burns shine the defensive line. Nunez Roches got a sack as well. Darius Alexander got a sack, and Okereke was the other
Yeah.
player that got one as well. But when it comes to the Giants defense, the the one weakness is how they perform against the run, man, and really it showed on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
giving up a total of 276 rushing yards, an average of 8.4 yards per attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon Barkley in his get right game had 150 yards.
Can we stop with the Saquon Barkley's a nice guy? Can we stop with this?
I
That's
think the whole like, oh, he's innocent, like,
get
it,
out of here with that. He's such a fake person. He's so fake. We should have known it last year when he said all year, I want to be a giant. I want to be a giant. And then the documentary comes out, and his entire family was like, he's going to Philly. What are we talking about here? So that should have been our first sign. The way he handled it wasn't great. And then his stupid lock post game comments about, like, we remembered how they celebrated. Like, dude, were you not here for the last 5 years and saw what this team went through? You were not here with the losing and losing. We finally got something fresh and we celebrated it. Yeah, no, get out of here. You're a bitter, salty man. You're upset your documentary got uprooted. And you know what? Have fun in Philly because you deserve those scumbag fans.
yeah, like I just think that the fact that one he's criticizing
Mm-hmm.
the Giants for celebrating, like they can't celebrate a win,
They
like
get
they
celebrated
just
win, and you were here. You saw all the things we went through. You were here for most of it.
exactly.
Like you should understand what that win meant to that franchise.
And two, I'm just be straight up. He's just trying to be an attention.
Oh my, he so is. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say because I'm not sure if that's bad to say on air, but I think
I know the word. And
it
yes.
rhymes with door. But
Yep, no, you're right for not saying that word.
but no, I I thought I could respect him a little bit after leaving New York, but not
Nope.
all these things, all these gimmicks that he's doing, all these attempts to continue to get under the Giants' skin and act like he was this, victim. When
Yeah.
let's not forget,
They're acting like he won 3 Super Bowls and the Giants disrespected him. It's like, dude, you were not that good for us. You were
you had a
always injured.
you had a great rookie season, you had a pretty decent 2022 year, and then all the other years, he
It
didn't
was
really
injuries and
produce.
underperformance. And granted,
Mm-hmm.
injuries played a role in it, but still, it just showed you why you don't pay running backs.
You're damn right. But yeah, he's no longer this innocent guy.
No.
And let's not forget that the Giants did try to do right by him by letting him
The
explore the
Giants offered him
market.
a $14 million contract during I forgot what year it was, but there was a $14 million contract
I think it
offer.
was before the 24 before the start of the 24 season.
So let's not pretend the Giants lowballed him or anything. They gave him a very, very generous offer.
Yeah. So, yeah, screw him.
Screw him. Yeah, the
Good, good,
narrative
good,
around him is dead.
good
It's
that he
the
had his get
Giants.
right.
The Giants have been proven right.
Yeah, it's good that he had his get right game for Philly. Whatever. Was not happy that Tank Bigsby had 104 rushing yards, but again, the Eagles just had their way with us
Mm-hmm.
on offense, man, and um, yeah, just not very disappointed in the guys and the
Oh,
guys on
super
defense.
disappointing.
Yeah, Darius Muasu had a 29.1 run defense grade last week. Continues to get worse. Had a 26.4 grade according to Pro Football Focus here.
See, that
Uh,
makes me. That's a coaching thing because the big thing about Mowasu coming out of UCLA was he was a great special teams player and he was great in run coverage. I believe he had like a 70 grade. That's why we mocked him in our mock draft. Like, yeah, let's get him just bring him for run support. Now he's coming in here and he's terrible at it. That's a coaching thing.
Same thing, you made a good point because that's the same thing that applies to Tyler Newman, who had a
Mm-hmm.
32.4 Pro Football Focus run defense grade. In college, he was just a guy that's known for getting turnovers and playing good run defense, and he has done neither
Neither.
since joining the Giants, man. And both those guys did not perform well whatsoever, and share responsibility actually
Dexter
for
Lawrence is
that.
like a 40 Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, with Dexter Lawrence, my friend, uh, the, there has to be something wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know what it
he's been
is.
bad this year. And again, coaching. It could be coaching.
Could be coaching. It could be the elbow injury he's dealing with.
Yeah.
Is it the double teaming? He did get two pressures on Sunday, but he didn't really show out outside of that. It just makes you wonder what truly is wrong with him because at one point, he was just we were calling him this generational talent, the best defensive tackle in the league at one point. But
And then
even
who
if you're
came in? And then who came here?
Shane Bowen,
And then magically all that stuff kind of
just
stopped,
went
huh?
away. Yeah.
Mm.
And for me, it's like even if you're double teamed, you're known as the best defensive tackle in the league. You still figure it out. I mean, Aaron Donald was this, as we know,
Hmm.
was this beast who and where that offensive lines were always trying to focus on, but he always still managed to get to the quarterback and
Yeah.
cause havoc.
Or
Uh,
he created holes that allow guys like Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns to get the quarterback. I think Tom Brady said it best. This Giants defensive line has been good, but not where we expected them to be. We thought this was going to be generational, and they're just fine.
yeah, Burns is great, of course. Carter's getting pressure. Tibbs is just doing the same as well. But I think
Hmm.
that's just the main concern with it's just with Lawrence, man, because he's
Yeah.
not. I know obviously box score stats don't mean everything, but at the same time, we haven't seen Lawrence, get a sack
There's
or
been no game where Lawrence took over
yeah.
like there has been in the
We're
past.
still waiting. He had the interception against the Chargers, but that was like a highlight play. Other than that,
Exactly. Yeah. What did he do the rest of that game? That was it.
not much really. So
Hmm.
we'll see if there's more when it comes to Lawrence, man. But something is definitely off, and it's
Hmm.
not good. Pass coverage, major concern as well.
Yep.
Adebo was out, as we know. Cardell Flott, unfortunately, got injured in that first half, was
Yep.
out for the second half with a concussion. So we had to roll with
So
Deontay
Deontay
Banks and
Banks
Corey
was
Bikes.
cornerback one. And then
Yeah.
Art Green hurt his hamstring.
Oh, great.
So that was that was more cornerback depth out.
Yeah, so that's why Corey Black, who was signed back from the Jets practice squad to New York, as if you guys don't know, Corey Black was our seventh round draft pick from this past offseason. They were so both Banks and Black were the primary outside corners with Drew Phillips in the nickel for the second half of the Philly game, and even with Hurts only having 179 passing yards, he still cooked. Had 4 passing touchdowns, completed 15 of 18 of his passes. It just shows how leaky that secondary was, honestly. But before we blame Banks, and yes, I know Devontae Smith cooked him on that comeback route where
Mhm.
he got like 6 yards of separation, which is absolutely insane. Banks only allowed 2 catches for 26 yards.
Yeah.
He didn't play bad. In fact, Cordell Flott was worse. Flott had a 39.0 coverage grade, allowed 3 catches for 49 yards and 4 targets, and then Corey Black had a 32.3 coverage grade and had allowed that 4 yard touchdown catch to Jahan Dotson, which made me want to throw my remote at the TV because he absolutely mossed the heck out of him. Um, when you're being mossed by a receiver, I would expect it to be maybe AJ Brown if he was playing or Devontae Smith, not Jahan Dotson. But
No, absolutely not. Not Jahan
yeah.
Dotson.
So when it comes to the Giants team, man, there's a lot of holes.
Oh
And as much
yeah.
as much as we love to root for our boys, and there's been a lot of good moments in this season so far, this this team is not fully ready to contend, and it
Mm-mm.
sucks. And it sucks to say that because it's like we have some pieces that we'll be able to build around, right? We talked about it
Mhm.
about the guys on offense, and there's some guys on defense, of course, like the Burns and the
The
Carter
defense,
and the
I think, is pretty
Tibbs.
much set. Like, get some more corner depth and secondary depth, and it's ready
You,
to roll.
you could
And
argue
a
we
new
could
and a new coach.
you could argue we need a linebacker too. I think
Yeah,
Okereke is still okay. McFadden when healthy is okay too.
but you
But
can live with a weaker linebacking core if the defensive line is as good as it's supposed to be. And
yeah.
if you run a 4-3 like we should be, and you're able to get Burns and Carter and Thibodeau and Lawrence and then Alexander, get them all five out there consistently, yeah, they're going to get to the quarterback.
Mhm. I don't know. I think maybe having some sort of top 5 talent at linebacker, like a Fred Warner or a Zach Bond, would definitely help with this
Well,
defense. And
obviously that would help with this team. Those are
yeah,
like some of the best players in the league on defense.
'cause I think linebackers is a position that hasn't been taken seriously as much when it comes to the Giants.
No,
Then again, there's other
not for
positions that
years.
haven't been taken
Definitely
seriously
for
at
years.
all. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, whether it's linebacker or quarterback depth, because
I mean, Okereke was the first like really good attempt at getting a linebacker since John Beeson.
yeah, no, good point, yeah, but there's been some fall off to his game.
Oh yeah.
It hasn't.
Hmm.
It's not crazy noticeable, but there's a small drop
No,
off
he's lost his
compared to
step, but he's getting
yeah,
older. It's to be
yeah.
expected.
So maybe in the draft we'll target some sort of
I will
linebacker
be
or
yeah.
linebacker
I think like
agency.
day 2, day 3, we'll get a couple linebackers.
Yeah,
Then like a veteran or somebody, you know.
yeah. And then finally, my friend, the refs.
Oh, jeez.
I know, I
All
know.
right, so can we all agree that tush push is gonna get banned this offseason? Like
Please, yes.
it has to be because
And I
the
want to
refs
get
have no idea what they're doing.
and I want to get this straight. And I think we should both say this. We have been very, very avid supporters of
Hmm.
the Dutch push.
There's a whole offseason going video. Go on Pelly up YouTube or the 3010 YouTube channel, and you can find these videos of us supporting the tush push.
Yes, that we always said like, hey, yes, it's a tough play to stop, but you got to figure it out.
Hmm.
If they're not going to ban it, you got to figure it out. But after what we saw on Sunday, there's no doubt in my mind the owners will
Hmm.
really strongly consider banning it, like
Yeah,
for sure, for sure.
because
Because if you don't mind,
yeah,
I have some clips that I found,
hmm,
not clips, but rather it's a tweet that I'll share my screen with.
quotes and stuff like
Um,
that. Yeah.
Interesting. Through week 7 of the NFL season, the Giants are the second best tackling team with just a 6.4% missed tackle
So
percentage.
does the rest of the league just suck at tackling? Because I've hated our tackling this year.
Um, great question. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to find it. I don't. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, no, I can't show it. I forgot because freaking
YouTube.
was not even that. I think it's just the fact that it has the Fox logo on it, and I don't want it to be
Oh yes,
copyrighted.
yes.
So,
Yep.
but never mind. Yeah, I'm not gonna show it. I'm not gonna risk it. But basically, for those who didn't watch the game, the Eagles performed the tush push on fourth down because that's all they can do on fourth down, and have done it successfully. But Hurts, when he reached the ball over the the line to gain, but as soon as he reached over it, Tibbs knocked the ball out and forced a fumble.
And he's on the ground, by the way. Hurts is not
He's
on the
on the
ground.
ground. There is no part of the body that touched in the grass whatsoever, and they ruled it a first down.
Mm-hmm. Interesting too, if you watch the playback, listen to where the whistle is, because the whistle does not come in until the ball is knocked out.
Right.
That's when the whistle starts.
And the play is blown dead when the whistle is blown, and that was not done so until after the ball.
The ball's on the
ground,
ground. Like, no one has, because,
because
like, they don't have possession of it. Hurts. The ball is just on the ground, and the
Yes.
and the whistle goes.
Yes, sir. So that ball is free.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been our ball.
It should have been 100%. Even
not.
the Fox broadcaster, like the rules analyst, was like, "No, this is the Giants' ball.
It's
This is a
fumble.
fumble."
Yep. And it just goes to show.
I love Dable going like, "You can't challenge it." He's like, "I'm going to challenge it. I'm challenging it. This is stupid."
Yeah, post game he was like, "Yeah, the guys upstairs. He relies on the guys upstairs to help him out, and he did the challenge flag, but he didn't really dive into much afterwards." And I was like, "You know what, Dable?
Yeah, because
we don't need no explanation,
anything
boss.
he said would be a fine."
Exactly. We don't need no explanation, boss man. Like we support your decision. It may look stupid to some people, but you know what? These refs are stupid. They don't know how to ref this damn tush push. If you can't ref a certain play, it needs to go.
That is the biggest change surrounding the tush push, I think. It's because in the offseason, it was like the Eagles are too good at this play. We need to take it away from them. Now it's like, well, the Eagles are getting away with a lot of false starts. They don't know how to officiate like this. If the refs can't officiate it correctly, it can't be played because it gives the team an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
And that's where then the whole thing around the play changes. So it's like, well, they're not banning it because they're good at it. They're banning it because the refs don't know what to do.
Yeah, and the missed calls are so obvious. Like you could see the Eagles literally false starting before the ball is snapped. And then, of course, the no fumble call was absolutely ridiculous.
That's the nail in the coffin, I think.
Yeah, for me. One. So it better be banned. I'm sorry. Or whether it's in the offseason or whatever the case may be. It has to be in the offseason. They can't ban it now.
We have replay assists, which took off a roughing the passer on Jalen Hurts because they thought he got hit out of bounds when he was clearly in bounds. And no part of his body was even close to out of bounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm that call too. Hit. Yes.
So the replay assist helped with that play to correct it. Why can't the replay assist be like, actually, there was a false start on that play. Bring it back. Why can't we have that?
They don't think like we do, buddy. As simple as that. But the tush push no fumble call was one of many missed calls by the refs on Sunday. It was a very one-sided ref game.
Yeah, and there were moments that like the refs favored us too. But I would say it was like a 70-30 split to Philly.
More favoring Philly than us. There was the false start on the left tackle, Mailata. That was actually called a neutral zone infraction on Kayvon, but you can literally see the left tackle move. There was the offensive pass interference call on Darius Slayton, which I understand that he pushed off a little. Yeah, I understand Slayton pushed off, but at the same time, if you looked at it, if you watched the whole thing in its entirety, you could see Mitchell literally grabbing Slayton's jersey. And that is the definition of
even
pass
Brady
interference.
Goes, this is a soft call. This is soft.
Yeah. And Giants down by 20 something, and you still want to call that? I'm like, all right, rest for sure. Way to freaking favor the Eagles or show that you have money on the Eagles, but I digress.
Yeah. Maybe they're involved in the whole NBA gambling thing because Antonio Gates was apparently running poker games during that thing.
Oh, Antonio Gates was
he was like very involved. Like he might be screwed.
Uh-oh. Shit. Well, things continue to get crazier when it comes to the gambling world.
Yeah. No, like literally, he was hosting poker games. Hosting the games.
Jesus. Oh. As long as no Giants are involved, that's what matters to me.
Well, if Shane Bowen's involved, I'm okay.
Oh, yes. There was a sensitive
Banks.
Yeah, there was a sensitive tweet that was that someone made about Shane Bowen and a certain person that unfortunately passed away not too long ago, but we won't get into that because of politics.
Oh my
Um,
god!
yeah,
I can't play.
they went that far, but I digress. There was a phantom block in the back penalty called on Wandale Robinson when it didn't, from the camera view that I saw, didn't look like a block in the back,
Hmm.
but it was called anyways. Whatever. Corey Black was called for defensive pass interference when the receiver, Darius Cooper, I believe is his name, he's a rookie, literally grabbed Black, shoved him, then ran the curl route, and then
Hmm.
caught the ball. Sure, but that's not offensive pass interference.
No,
Okay. And then I mentioned the multiple holding calls. So it was a very one sided ref game, probably the worst officiating game I've ever seen.
it's
And
pretty bad. It's up there.
yeah, yeah. If calls are equally made for both sides, cool. We'd be
Yeah,
criticizing the refs
in general, it'd
in
be like it was just
general.
a bad officiating crew.
Yeah, but this ref, yeah, they should never ref a Giants game ever again. Because if I ever, I don't even know the names, but if I look them up and I see them again to call a Giants game, I will lose my crap. They need to be all fired for their incompetency.
Hmm.
But I digress. But that's all I got for the Giants Eagles game. I don't want to talk about it no more. Anything else on your end, my friend, before we
No,
move on?
that's pretty much it.
All right. We are heading back home to take on San Francisco. Hopefully, the Giants get back on track against a very
Let's
weak
hope
Niners
I'll be
team.
there, and I don't have good luck this season so far. So let's hope. Let's
Oh
hope
boy,
for the
that's right.
best.
You are going to be there. Well, have fun.
Oh, we'll try.
We'll try.
We will have fun, but
Of course.
we don't
Just
know. We don't know if the Giants will be the reason we're having
yeah,
fun.
have the fun.
Yeah, come
Well,
up
how the
other ways to
fun?
have fun.
Well, yeah. So, alrighty. Well, we have a new segment for you folks. We're gonna call it Instant Replay. So, moving forward, every Tuesday, we it's a new segment where we talk about a few games, and there's either a statement or a question I bring up, and Brian will either tell me if it's an overreaction or not. It'll make sense when once we start it. So
No, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory.
sounds good to me. All right, first game on the slate: Dolphins 34, Falcons 10. How about it, Brian? Tua had a day, 4 touchdowns on the day. Actually, completed 28-26 of his passes for 205 yards, no turnovers, and the Dolphins' 3-game losing streak ended in the process. And the defense, by the way, holding Bijan Robinson to just 25 rushing yards. My friend, I think the Dolphins just saved Mike McDaniel's job.
No, I wouldn't go that. Maybe saved his job from not being fired mid-season. But we all kind of questioned his Falcons team. Like, what are they really? They beat Buffalo and look great, but they do this, and it's like, how good are they really? The backup quarterback, I think, is one of those games where it's just like the Dolphins got, they hit him at the right time with how inconsistent they are. This is still a very bad football team that needs overhaul across the board. You need a new quarterback, a new head coach, a new general manager. A new owner would be amazing too because Stephen Ross has no idea how to run a football organization. But yeah, no, McDaniel's job might be safe for the season, but he needs to go in the offseason.
I think it's one of those. It's another example of the Brian Callahan situation because when the Titans beat Arizona, it kind of saved his job for another week,
Mm-hmm.
and then that loss happened the next week, and I was like, all right, Callahan, you're done.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
It's kind
I
of how
think
like everyone was. It's very similar to Brian Dable. How like after the Philly games, like okay, Dable's good, and then the Denver game happens. Like, wait a minute, maybe we were right at the
maybe not.
first glance at Dable.
Yeah. So all right, good stuff there. All right, Jets 39, Bengals 38. The Jets finally got their
The
first.
Jets won a game.
Yeah, last week we were talking about like, wait, maybe the Jets won't get their first win of the year till like December. Nope, they got it just in time before
It
the end
took
of
a
October.
miracle, but they got it.
It took they got their first dub. Brees Hall had a
Shout out to
great
that
game.
kid. It was
I
with the Jets
know.
this week.
I hope he's smiling right now, enjoying himself.
Oh, he's
Uh,
very much bro. That kid is the most popular kid in his middle school. He's the happiest guy in the world right now.
Major shout out to him, man. But yeah, the Jets were great. Brees Hall had a day, 3 total touchdowns, including a passing touchdown. Yes, a passing touchdown to Mason Taylor to win the game. And in total, the Jets had 500 yards of total offense, which is the second time that's occurred in the past 25 years. Justin Fields, by the way, 244 passing yards and a touchdown while completing 21 of 32 of his passes. Is it safe to say the Jets won't be in the mix for a top 5 pick now? Is this a start that the Jets are gonna turn it around for the rest of the year?
No, this is a one game against a Joe Flacco led Bengals team. This is a Bengals team that's not very good. And it took an absolute miracle for the Jets to win this game. This is a fluke. They'll go back to losing ways next week.
Okay. Bonus overreaction statement. The Bengals are officially done.
Oh yeah, I mean, as soon as Joe Burrow went down, we all kind of knew they were done. Even like
Yeah.
that, we had the Unk Bowl, which was fun, but like, let's not sit here and pretend that everyone thought Joe Flacco was going to lead this team to a playoff run.
Or close enough so that when Burrow does come back, the Bengals are in have a chance to get
Yeah,
into
no,
the
the
postseason.
Bengals, the smartest thing they can do right now is just shut Burrow down for the year and we come back next season.
Yeah. And also, not even the offense's fault. I think it's all. I
No,
mean,
it's
it's sort
they
of.
lost the quarterback.
Yeah,
When
it's
you
sort of
lose your starting quarterback, it's pretty much a wash for the year.
the offense's fault because Chase Brown has low key been very underwhelming this year, but the
Yes, it's
defense
terrible.
showed its true colors on Sunday
Yeah,
because they allowed 39 points to a very hapless Jets offense.
the magic of
Uh,
Al Golden ran out.
yeah, so Bucks 23, Saints 3. A very ugly game for both sides, my friend.
Yes,
Baker Mayfield has definitely cooled down after, what he was in the MVP conversation for quite some time. He's
I don't think
definitely
he's in
cooled
that
down.
conversation anymore.
Not anymore. Nope. Had
I mean,
100.
if we're being honest, I really think it's Drake Mays to lose.
He's oh well. Actually, I do have one statement about that I'll mention at the end of this one. That to me, this player deserves the MVP award, but we'll get there when we get
Is it?
there.
I have an idea who it could be,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna
if
wait.
I feel like yeah, I feel like it's the guy. The same that we're thinking about the same guy, I should say. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Baker only 152 yards passing against the Saints. The defense was the real story for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Anthony Nelson led the way, had 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception for a touchdown. Antoine Winfield Jr. also had an interception and a fumble recovery as the Bucks forced four total turnovers. Um, against New Orleans. And more surprisingly, though, we saw Tyler Shuck for the first time in the second half as the
Yes.
Saints replaced Rattler after that first drive. Shuck, well, he was okay, 17 to 30, 128 yards, 1 interception, but did have 12 rushing yards as well on 3 carries. My friend, Tyler Shuck is the future in New Orleans.
I'm gonna need to see a lot more than just one half of football to determine that. I need to see him play at least like 5 games. Then we get a good body of work. We get the film. We can see what he's doing and what he's not doing. Then I can make the argument if he could be a starter or not. Because he's so. It's hard to say because he's not old, but in NFL rookie terms, he's old. So if he has like those rookie tendencies, it's gonna be very hard to coach him out of it at 27 years old.
I got something better. They should start him for the rest of the year now.
Oh, agreed, 100%. You're not going anywhere. But you kind of know what Spencer Rattler is. A serviceable quarterback, I would say. Maybe like the next Gardner Minshew, where like he kind of like bounces around the league, gets a spot start, puts on a show. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, right. Rattler's decent, but never good enough to win a full time starter job. Tyler Shuck is still an unknown. We might think he's not going to be a good quarterback because of everything, but you have to run him out there and just see. You have to give him ample playing time to see if he's good or not.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Broncos 44, Cowboys 24. RJ Harvey had a hell of a day. Holy crap. 3 total
About
touchdowns while
time.
Bo, yeah. For those fantasy owners out there, you're welcome. Uh, but Bo Nix also had 4 passing touchdowns on the day and 247 total passing yards against a Dallas secondary that continues to get toasted. And for Dallas's offense, they could not get much going at all. On the day, Prescott struggled immensely, had 2 interceptions. Don't look now, but the Broncos just won their 5th straight game. And dare I
Mm-hmm.
say, my friend, the Broncos will win the AFC West.
Um, I don't think that's crazy. I really don't. This is a team that shown. It's a team that's a comeback kids. No lead is ever safe with them. That's a dangerous team to go against. So they're never out of it. They're currently leading it right now at 6-2. We've kind of see the Chargers kind of fall off a little bit. The Chiefs are very hit or miss this year, and the Raiders stink. If the Broncos can get hot and build that lead, yeah, I really see them winning the division.
Hey, they're a good team, man. I mean,
They're a good team, and they're a team that just battles. They'll just fight. It doesn't matter what the score is.
they have a great defense when healthy.
The Sertan
Um,
injury does stink. That hurts.
it does. He'll be out 4 to 6 weeks, so that's gonna That's gonna hurt for sure. But if they can survive without him, this
Yes.
team will. They definitely have a very very strong chance to win the division because even I know the Chiefs just got healthy offensively with Rasheed Rice coming back, and he looks
He
great.
looked great last night.
He looks great, dude. Like the Chiefs, it shows how much the Chiefs really missed him because the
hmm
offense has been on at a completely different level now with him back in the starting lineup. Whether it's with him and Worthy and Kelsey, who had a touchdown last night as well. Of course, the National Tight End Day was this past Sunday, um, and Kelsey couldn't really score on Sunday because he was playing on Monday, but he made up for it, or
Yeah.
he made up for the fact, I should say. Um, so man, Kelsey was great. Uh, Speaking of national tight end, Tucker Kraft had a hell of a day on Sunday. By the way, he's
hmm
not part of this segment, but two
Just shout out
touchdowns.
tight ends.
Yeah, hey, he was phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And then finally, Colts 38, Titans 14. Jonathan Taylor, my friend, averaged close to 17 yards per carry, just over halfway through the game. But in total, against Tennessee, he had 153 total yards and two touchdowns in just 12 attempts. I had an 80-yard touchdown run. I also had a receiving touchdown as well. He is now at 143 carries for 850 yards and 12 touchdowns. This leads the NFL in all three categories. So if this continues, he will win the triple crown. Every player with 850 plus rushing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns plus through 8 weeks in a season, this list consists of 5 players: Priest Holmes, Dickerson, Terrell Davis, Jim Brown, and now Jonathan Taylor.
It's good
So
company.
elite company he's joining for sure. According to StatMuse, he is on pace for 357 touches, 2,244 yards, and 31 tutties, which would be tied for most all time in a season. My friend, Jonathan Taylor will win the MVP.
I like that. I really do because, like I said, there is no clear cut runner right now with Burrow, Lamar being hurt, Mahomes kind of being hit or miss. Stafford's been good, but like he hasn't done it. That's why I say it was Drake Mason to lose. But you can make the argument the Colts offense is nowhere near as good as they are without Jonathan Taylor. And some guy on TikTok this morning, I really wish I had the username, made a great point about this Colts team. They're very reminiscent of those like early 2020 Titans teams led by Vrabel. And when you had Derrick
Mm.
Henry running, a veteran quarterback kind of cast off like Ryan Tannehill was. Now you had Daniel Jones, who's playing solid, not elite, not great, but solid. Get the job done. And it all revolves around that running game. Yeah, if he can break those records and do all that, Jonathan Taylor should be a lock for MVP.
Oh yeah,
Even though he's not a quarterback.
yeah. He's having an historic season so far, carrying that Indianapolis offense. Of course, Daniel Jones is playing well. Um,
He's playing well, but
Defense
even if he's playing well, but would not be as good if Taylor wasn't there.
without having that All Pro running back back there to
You put
help him.
Javonte Williams on the Colts. The Colts are probably 3-4 team, 3-5 team.
There's Jonathan Taylor, and there's my point being is just Javante Williams is at a lower tier compared because Jonathan Taylor is like
Yeah,
tier
Jonathan
one,
Taylor's up here,
best of
and
the
then Javonte
best,
Williams is like here.
little down, tier three, tier four
And,
type guy.
and Javonte Williams, he's playing a lot better than I
Yeah,
thought he was going to
yeah,
this season. He is. It's just
yeah.
like Jonathan Taylor's being compared to Jim Brown and Eric Dickerson. Like that's a whole other level of running back.
Dude, Taylor's been phenomenal, man. The Colts are continue to remain hot. I think they're 7-1 on the year now, which is absolutely insane. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but never would have thought the Colts would be in the number one seed conversation, but here we are. So,
Yeah.
but that is the overreaction, the instant replay segment here for this week. We'll be back next week with more. Maybe Brian will bring up some overreaction statements. Who knows? We'll discuss it when we get there. Alrighty, before we head off for the day, I gotta get your thoughts on this, my friend. Brian,
Couldn't happen to a better guy. I hate we share the first same name.
LSU firing head coach Brian Kelly after the loss to Texas A&M on Saturday night. What are your thoughts? It
I
seems like
celebrate is what I did. This
it seems like
guy
you're happy.
is a POS. I mean, let's not let's run through Brian Kelly's tenure. He killed a kid. That's a true story. He,
Did,
ignored players, blames everybody else but himself. He is a narcissist and ego, an ego blank, all that. This could not happen to a better guy. He sucks in the big games, and I hope no college gives him a job this offseason because he does not deserve it.
fair enough to me. All right, a couple questions for you in regards to, so what led to his demise, and two, what are some candidates off the top of your head that you can think of that
Well,
would be the best fit for LSU?
the biggest thing led to his demise is the thing that everybody blamed Notre Dame for years is he cannot win the big game. And when you're in the SEC, I know we all make the jokes like the SEC overrates themselves, but when you're constantly playing schools like Alabama, Georgia, A&M's great this year, there's always like 4 or 5 teams in the SEC that are like the top schools in the country. And if you can't consistently beat them, I'm not saying you have to go like, um, I'm not saying like let's say play 20 games against like the top tier SEC opponents. I'm not saying you have to go 18-12. You just need to go like 14-8, or like 10. You had to have like a 500 record against the top opponents. Kelly was 5-11 against top opponents in the SEC. That alone shows you that he can't win that big game. He won't win the SEC championship game because he can't compete with those top tier schools. So that's what led to him. And then he just killed the culture because you don't hear any LSU player from the Brian Kelly era going back and wanting to be a part of it. Everyone kind of just like swipes it on the rug right now. So he destroyed a great program. He, kind of showed everybody that Notre Dame wasn't the problem, that it was him. As in the same time, Marcus Freeman is like 11-7 against ranked opponents. So do with that as you may. But yeah, no, this was a move that had to be made for LSU. You could not continue to roll with him, even with that contract.
Fair enough. All right. Um, can you think of any candidates off the top of your head that would be a
Um,
good fit for LSU by chance, my friend?
I mean, they're gonna talk to Lane Kiffin. They're gonna want to. They're gonna try Marcus Freeman. It's not gonna happen, guys. Marcus Freeman's not leaving Notre Dame
Yeah, I think he
unless it's
already.
for Ohio State. That's the only way he's leaving. It's for Ohio State. And all these people like money talks. Guys, Notre Dame has just enough money as the SEC schools. I know you don't like to think like that. It's true. The SEC is not this benevolent god. All right, a lot of schools have caught up, and Notre Dame is one of them. So Freeman's not going anywhere. Um, Tulane's coach, I think, is going to be a very popular name in that search. Maybe another guy with experience, like they'll probably call Saban just to see. But I think Tulane is probably where they should go and go get him.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I saw a report on Freeman. He turned down interest from Florida and Penn State.
Florida, Penn State, and then this Penn State fan's like, you think we should hire Brian Kelly? It's like, if you want to hire Brian Kelly, you should never just fire. You should
Just
have
kept
fired
James Franklin
Franklin. You should just
because
roll with Franklin.
James Franklin is basically, from what I've
James
understood,
Franklin and Brian Kelly are the same coach.
just one didn't kill a kid.
Yeah, one didn't kill a kid. Yeah, that's the
So
main difference. And then basically run away from it. But you heard stories with this. You heard a story about Robert Saleh and Matt LaFleur. They were graduate assistants, and Kelly was having a party and invited them, and it was under the impression that, oh, we're gonna go like party, not party, but like like, oh, be like a classy event with our boss and all this stuff. Like, all right, he must like us. He made them park cars and shovel snow. He put them to work.
yeah, I've been reading a lot on Brian Kelly. He's not a very
He's
good
not a
person.
good person at
Yeah,
all.
there's a lot of people that have complained about him, saying like, oh, when one of his players have gotten hurt or whatever the case may be, he hasn't really reached out to
Just
them,
ghosted
or
them.
yeah, yeah. Karma's a B. So
And I know he's gonna get a job because like he is a good program builder. Like he can build programs. He just can't take it to the next level. If that makes sense.
yeah. Well, hey, maybe he'll get a job at
He's gonna have to go to a group of 5 school, like an American.
Kennesaw State.
No, he won't go to tennis. Oh, like Tulane could be a spot for him if they lose their coach. Maybe they go get Brian Kelly, like a school like that, a step down, a couple steps down, actually.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But LSU will be seeking a new head coach, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yep.
But
Hasta la
yeah,
vista, baby. You who
he,
suck.
he deserves it.
You
Deserves to be
deserve it.
fired, to say
Leading
the
Notre Dame
least.
in the middle of the night the way you did. Music to my ears when I heard he got fired. And now Marcus Freeman is, going to possibly lead the Irish back to the playoffs again.
Yeah, right. Hey, Freeman has a chance to leave a legacy at Notre Dame. He already has done a hell of a
He
job
already
so
has
far.
pretty much. Like he brought Notre Dame out. I mean, granted, it was Brian Kelly's fault where Notre Dame was, but
Brought him back from the cellar, and
Mhm.
obviously we saw him make the playoff
Not the
last year.
seller,
Made the
but
national.
like they were
Yeah, I
just
don't.
like they weren't the tier one school they had been in the past. They were like sitting in tier two and tier three. You can make the argument Notre Dame is still in tier two, but I think majority of the country be like, this is a team that's got a legit shot year in year out for a national championship as long as Freeman's head coach there.
You're damn right. He's a guy I would want to play for. I tell you that much, my
Oh yeah.
friend. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And it's
But
so funny that his final loss comes against one of his former defensive coordinators. Like we for years we heard about Saban like always beating like guys that worked on his staff. Brian Kelly was the exact opposite because he always lost to those guys. I think he led like 5 losses against them.
Jesus Louises, man. Shout out to the Aggies, though. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
shout out. Aggies are good.
Hey, one of those teams I might consider to be my next college football favorite
Yes,
team.
we'll
We'll
find
see.
out Thursday. It is so funny. Like I checked the score at halftime, and it was like 18-14. I'm like, okay, Brian Kelly, all right. And I put
You're
my
keeping
phone
up.
down. I went to do something else. I don't even remember what it was. And I
Yeah.
picked it up and opened Twitter and saw everybody like roasting Brian Kelly. I'm like, what happened? And I checked the score. I'm like, I was gone for a quarter. What the hell? It was 45-0.
Everything collapsed.
it was 18-14 at halftime. It's now 45-18.
Hey, how about them Aggies, baby? I tell you. I tell you. But with that being said, that'll do it here for episode 49 of season 3 of the Third and 10 podcast. Fortunately, we had to review the Eagles Giants game, but hopefully the New York bounces back against the Niners. We'll preview all of that later on in the week. We also discussed or brought up our new segment called Instant Replay, where we overreacted or no, we talked about a few games and we made some statements and we basically said if it was a overreaction or not. Then we end the show with talking about LSU and Brian Kelly, as he is no longer a head coach for the Tigers. So, but y'all know the drill. You can follow us on social media. You can follow me at Nathan underscore the 124. You can follow Brian at BrianPG1016. And you can follow our podcast page at Third and 10 Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And our TikTok page is at Third and 10 Podcast. Shout out to SeatGeek, our sponsors. Use the code BellyUp Sports for $20 off your first purchase. And you can find my article work, Brian's article work, and all of our other amazing writers and editors or writers and podcasts at bellyupsports.com. We'll see you guys later on in the week to preview Giants and Niners. Can the Giants bounce back against an Niners team that did not look good on Sunday? We shall see. For Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much as always. We'll see you guys then. Bye.